Where do you start? He's a painter, he's a poet, he's a violinist, he's a bassist, he's a jazz improviser, he's a songwriter, bon vivant, ageless octogenarian. That's Johnny Frigo.
I grew up in Roseland, south side, 115th Street and Yale Avenue. We're super poor, and I spent almost every afternoon going through the alley looking for junk to sell to the little rag man who came by in a horse and wagon with a beer saying rags and old iron. And he talked my mother into my taking lessons with his son, who was a violinist. The rag man said, I noticed little Johnny, called Little Johnny, and I think sort of remember that, has long fingers and he would be a good violin player. I think he was only trying to get a student for his son, really.
Johnny Frigo has been a violin player for, I think, all of his life, but not only a violin player, because he learned to play the bass fairly early in his career.
And it ended up that for the next half century, I made most of my living, 90% of my living, playing bass. Eventually playing with Jimmy Dorsey's band and with small groups and things like that, and traveling around the country.
And he spent a long time doing something that probably a lot of people don't know about, which was the WLS barn dance program. Like 25 years he played on that, on the violin.
Somebody asked me if I knew country music. I said, oh, sure. The only song I think I knew was Turkey in the Straw. And here I'm thinking I'm going to be a jazz player, you know, so what am I doing playing violin on a country show? And then after I left the barn dance, I got a call from Chico Marx, of all people, of Marx Brothers. He had a wonderful jazz orchestra, which he really knew nothing about. He just did his bits.
Would you welcome Johnny Frigo? John.
The musical interaction between Joe Vito and Johnny Frigo is the kind of thing that you can only have if you've been working together for years and years and years, and it's almost telepathy.
He really understands where I'm going, and he follows me. I even wrote a little poem about that. Where go my fingers, errant or right, so go Joe's in protective flight. Reading my mind till the duet is done, he follows me not, we arrive as one.
When Johnny plays a violin, there's a lot of different things happening. There's a main melody line, and then there are filigrees, and there are detours, and there are little clouds of notes that appear out of nowhere. It's a style that if it's not done well, it just sounds utterly inept. But if it is done well, and it always is when Johnny plays, then it's captivating.
The paper said you've been playing most of your life, but it's only been, what, the last months or something that you became really well known. How come? What?
Well, I guess I wanted to take as long as I could in my life so I wouldn't have time to become a has-been, honey.